but very revolutionary concept and idea. Now, everybody's looking for the law of attraction because you want something. Because you're like, I want to have XYZ. And interestingly enough, for example, Jim Carrey had this kind of like law of attraction concept where eventually he would get what he wanted, but then he would say it didn't satisfy him. It didn't give him the joy, the peace that he was looking for. In effect, it would give him exactly kind of the opposite. So, law of attraction cannot be the answer. It's not like an absolute answer. And I have an absolute answer for you. It starts with the idea of self love. What is self love? You know, a lot of people don't understand self love, what it really means and where it comes from. Self love is actually a state of higher harmony. So, meaning, if you do something that for your energetic state, for your body, gives you a higher harmony, the higher harmony that it gives to you, the more self-love you're actually practicing, the more self-love you're feeling. So you just close your eyes and you feel for yourself intuitively what would give me more harmony to my energy field right now. So if I say, for example, right now the higher harmony would be for me to take a nap, to get a massage, to make a tea, to go for a walk, whatever it is, I then commit to doing that, and I experience that higher harmony, I'm actually practicing self-love. And the more you do that without compromise, the more you're actually practicing self-love. And now something super interesting. If you do the opposite of that, you're actually practicing self-hate. So anytime you're accepting anything that doesn't give higher harmony to your energetic field, you're actually practicing self-hate. And now comes the next super important realization that if you are practicing self-hate, you're actually not in the field of who you truly are. You're in the field of what you think you should be, but you're not who you are. You are who you are in the highest energetic field when you practice self-harmony. Means practicing self-love. And the more you do that, the more you actually, you could say, being yourself, your true self, your loving self. And that is one of the highest states you can be in. And so, if you look at the law of resonance, not the law of attraction, but the law of resonance, that might like attracts like, then naturally you only attract what fits the state of higher harmony, what fits the state of self-love. So if you were to do things like that, you are actually coming into a state of peace and authenticity towards your true self. Now, of course, if you practice the kind of non-duality, spiritual way of letting go and just being aware of the self as beingness, you're automatically also in a higher harmony. So just by the act of resting in the self or marinating in the self, as Mooji would say, you're also practicing self-love because you're automatically entering into the highest state of harmony. And that's why Mooji says, and everybody else who's practicing non-duality at a high level is saying, the more you realize who the true self, and the more you rest in the true awareness of the true self, the more you're practicing, the more you're attracting kind of magical moments into your life. Why is it that you increasingly attract magical moments in your life when you practice marinating in the self? Because you're in the highest power of your authentic self, which means the highest power of the law of resonance. So you don't want to practice the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is actually doing something very wrong. Is the moments that you want something, you are actually not practicing the state of highest harmony. Because if I say, for example, I want to practice law of attraction and I put a lot of energy into that, I'm actually saying to myself, I'm not in the state of highest harmony because I'm missing something that brings me into the state of highest harmony, which is not true. So, if you let go of the law of attraction, but practice acts of highest harmony, you are actually entering into your strongest law of resonance. And thereby, you attract in the strongest energy field possible what is right for you as an act of self love. And it's not what your ego thinks. It's not what a conditioned mind thinks. It's not what society thinks. It's not going to have, probably not going to have anything to do with expensive, fashion or items or luxury or whatever. It's probably going to have to do with a heart based, attraction of energies. So, this is probably the most powerful learning that you will ever get in this lifetime is practice the state of higher harmony for your energy field, thereby practicing self-love, thereby entering in the strongest field of law of resonance. Think about that and try it out. So close your eyes, feel intuitively what would give me right now the highest harmony, and immediately you enter into the highest field of strongest resonance. It's super simple, super quick. You don't even have to force yourself because you automatically feel what would give you higher harmony. You don't need to force yourself in terms of like um the idea of pushing your boundaries or going into uncomfy zones. It's actually quite the opposite. You practice the most comfy zone. You go into the most comfy zone. But you have to be informed. And the reason you have to be informed is because you're being bombarded with marketing and information, which is suggesting to you things of higher harmony, which are not things of higher harmony. Be it caffeine, alcohol, drugs, whatever, nicotine, processed foods, whatever. All of these things are being marketed to you as states of higher harmony, but they're not. You have to come into your intuition and close your eyes and give yourself space and quietness to feel the the position of higher harmony, your true authentic position of higher harmony. And just feel like what right now would give you higher harmony, whatever it is. Just give it a feel, give it an intuition, give it a moment, a silence. It was like, oh, I would love to right now do this. I think this would give me higher harmony. And the moment you act upon it, you enter into the law of resonance, of the highest power of law of resonance. And that's it.